Proverbs 18:21 tells us the power of life and death is in the tongue. It doesn't say encouragement and discouragement. It doesn't say correction and rejection. It doesn't say truth and lies. It doesn't say building up or devastation. It says the power of life and death are in the tongue. If it was only those other words, it wouldn't make such a big deal. But life and death are eternal. The definition of life is the condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter, including the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and continual change up until death. But the definition of death is the end of life. I've heard this verse many times since I've become a Kingdom kid. People use it all the time, and it means two very different things. First of all, it means the words that come out of our mouth are important. The words that proceed from our emotions, from our heart, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's what the word tells us, right? When I was on my healing journey, when I was disabled, fighting to become able, I had to learn a whole new vocabulary. There was a lot of times I had to learn to be silent if I had nothing kind to say about myself, my body, or my circumstances. If you know me, being silent is not in my nature. But I was not, Aaron confronted me regularly when he heard things like, I can't, I lack, weakness. Those things became daily confrontations in our home because he knew those things were releasing death into my body. They weren't getting me to where I wanted to be. They were keeping me bound in the prison I found myself in, right? They also didn't represent the price that Christ died to pay for me. When I started giving my testimony of healing, I remember the very first time I did, I went to tell people, listen, it is absolutely a miracle that I'm alive, and it is unfounded that I am not completely paralyzed. That came from the top neurosurgeon in Cincinnati and probably one of the top in the world. He said, I don't know how you are. And I said, I know how I am. I still had some things that God had to work out, but he protected me from a lot along the way. But as I was giving my testimony of going from a place where I couldn't hardly get out of bed, I couldn't take care of my children, my husband couldn't work because he had to take care of all of us, I went to say these words. The doctor saved my life, and I'm telling you, God stopped me right in my tracks. And I fumbled. I said, I didn't know what to say. I don't even know what I said that night. But I went to him later, and I said, God, what did I do wrong? What were you trying to tell me? He said, Julie, no doctor saved your life. There is only one that salvation comes through. And he hung on a cross, and he died and went down, and he rose again, and he still lives, and he is the only one that gets the glory for my salvation and your salvation. Amen? So that's one side of the power of words. The other side of the power of words is that you have to be careful who you're allowing to speak life and death over you. There's lots of people that talk. There's lots of people that say really dumb things on a regular basis. You can go to the store and listen, I talk to everybody. And from one end of the store to the other, I could probably rack up all the curses that I hear. They don't even know they're doing it. but they're doing it. They're not spreading life with their words. Listen, it's important to be wise and to be decisive about who speaks life over you. I choose. You get to choose who speaks into your life. I look at their character, their fruit, their love, their servitude, their humility, their hunger, their authenticity. Don't give power to somebody to speak life or death over you that doesn't deserve it, that doesn't base their mind and their words on the Bible, that doesn't know the power of the risen Christ, that doesn't know that there is life and death in the tongue. I'm telling you, it is so important. When my mom was diagnosed with cancer, I went into my house. My mom was given just a few weeks to live, and I was pregnant with Esther. She'll be 23 next month. And my mom is sitting right over here. Because God's good. But I'm telling you, I went through my house. I scoured every last thing where somebody died of sickness, and I tossed it. Because it didn't speak life. I needed faith, and that didn't bring it to me. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Choose life. Amen? Amen.